Welcome to a solitaire playthrough video for a brand new game that's actually coming up on GameFound in November called Onoda from Salt and Pepper Games. The game is designed by Francisco Paco Gradai and the illustrations are by Javi De Castro. Very cool little thematic solitaire game that plays in about 30 to 40 minutes and you are taking on the role of Hiro Onoda, who was a Japanese soldier that held out even after World War II was over on an island near the Philippines from 1945 to about 1974, where he finally surrendered. But he also had several companions that were with him. They are represented in the game as well. And you're going to play through 6 rounds, hoping to survive while amassing victory points from accomplishing missions. Very interesting, unique game, lots of cool mechanics at play. I would highlight that it's an historically based game, but it is a game. It has a lot of gamey mechanics. It is not a true war game, but it has a war theme and a historical theme. But I'm going to be honest, it's a pretty cool little game. I very much enjoyed it. This will actually be I believe my 8th play, 7 or 8. I've won 1 time. I've been close several times, but the game is extremely hard, challenging, but that's really what you want in any solitaire game. There you can get a look at that cover. Comes in a very small box, as similar to the other games from Salt and Pepper Games. But you know what they say, great things come in a small package. So here's a look at the game. The island that you are on, you are playing as Hiro Onoda using this marker. Now I'm going to lay it down. Typically when I'm playing, I stand it up, but I'll lay it down so that you can see the effect. But you can see the island is divided into 7 different areas. They are each named Lubang, Tilik, 500, Banakas, Lok, Ago, and then your camp is located in Kiampu. And you can see it has a little hut drawn there. This is kind of your safe space where you must return at the end of every round to end the round. And sometimes just getting back there can be a challenge depending on what events are out. What is your goal in the game? Your goal is to survive 6 different turns. You can see the turn track down here, while keeping your paranoia level represented by the black eye marker. Keeping this low. If that ever gets to 10 points, game is automatically over. Your health, represented by this red token with a heart symbol, starts at 10. And if it ever gets to 0 at any time, the game ends immediately. So you can either die or you can lose your mind from isolation and being alone and on your own for 24 years. You are going to take various actions. We'll talk about those as we go through the game. There are 4 different actions: move, perform a raid, repair an item, and accomplish a mission. So those are the 4 that you're going to be doing, and you are going to move around the island trying to accomplish different things in different spaces, all while collecting enough food through raiding or events to feed you and your 2 companions. These are your 2 companions. You can see they have a 2 rice symbol at the top of their token, which means they require 2 rice to feed, and then you also require 2 rice for Onoda. So each round you've got to collect at least 6 rice in order to feed yourself. If you cannot feed yourself, you're going to lose health, which is a bad thing. Also, the more rice you get, the more alarm tokens you can remove from the board. I'll discuss that when we get to that. But you're moving around the board trying to accomplish various missions. I'll go ahead and pull this card up here. This is a randomly drawn mission. This is in Lubang. So it is up here there in Lubang on the north side of the island. You are attempting to make a map of the airstrip. airstrip, it's landing strip. So for that purpose, you're going to have to move to Lubang. You are going to have to then accomplish or pass what is called an alarm check, which is nothing more than drawing a token from this draw bag, we'll get to that, and comparing it to the number of alarm tokens that exist in the space that you're taking the action. If you have more than, you succeed. Equal to or less than, you fail. If you succeed on, and then you have to deactivate your binoculars. You do have a backpack on this side. It's a little, here, I'll move this up and show it to you. It's kind of a little secondary board that has 6 different items on them, and they are all tied to various missions and event cards. For instance, you'll pull an event card and it says you can flip over the health, the first aid kit to activate a friend or do some other things. So you have to have those active to be able to accomplish this mission, and then you flip that over and deactivate it. If you succeed, you're going to gain a victory point or an honor point, and then you are going to lose 1 alarm marker in this space of Lubang. If you fail, you're going to gain a paranoia plus 1 dark eye, and then in Lubang and adjacent regions, you're going to gain plus 1 alarm marker. But that's what you're trying to do. Accomplish those missions to gain victory points. Keep your health high. Keep your paranoia low. All the while, every time you take an action, with the exception of move, you're going to have to, at the end of that action, draw an event card and resolve it. These are the 3 different types of events. The symbols, this is immediate, meaning when you flip this over and that card has this symbol, you're going to have to do that immediately. These are reserve events. They're kind of like a little crate. You can put those over by your backpack and use those at a later time to give yourself health or redo a check or other things like that. And then this is called a round event. And this is going to sit on the side of the board here. You're going to kind of line them up. And during the entire round, that effect is going to be in play. So you'll have to pay attention to those. More often than not, you'll have 2, maybe 3 of those, no more than that. You might have 1 or 2 reserve cards. Now, you can only have a number of reserve cards equal to your current companions that are active and plus 1. So I can currently have 3 of those reserves over there. There's only about maybe 10 to 15 reserve cards in the entire deck. So you're never going to have more than 1 or 2, frankly. But that's the events. One other thing I wanted to talk about is the draw bag. So this is the draw bag. There is a lot of blind chit draw. The only comment I have is the bag's just not big enough. My hand's too big, but I'm going to do it. I like the bag, but I've also used a draw cup, which works much, much better. But there are 12 resolution tokens. They are numbered 0 through 6. And here's the spread or distribution of those results. Low values are bad for you. 0s and 1s and 2s, more often than not, you're going to fail an alarm check or a paranoia check. So you can see there are 5 of those. On the reverse side of those, on the reverse side, there is a resource marker, a bowl of rice. So as you do these checks and succeed on things like rage, you're going to then reach back into the bag and draw one of those out, turn it over, and then you're going to put that in your camp, which represents the food that you've been able to collect. But you can see 5 of the 12 are what I would consider very low values, 2 or less. There are 2 2s and 2 1s. These you hate, right? You don't want those in the bag. The way you're going to get those out of the bag is by luck. You're going to randomly draw these things and flip them on the resource side when you've succeeded. You're hoping to draw a 0 or a 1 at least a couple of times during the round to kind of water that bag down. But you'll notice the high numbers give you way more resources. So the 6 gives you 3, everything else gives you 2 or 1. But back to my point about the distribution, then you can see there are 7 results that are 3 or higher, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, but only 1 6. So that is your distribution. It is in your favor, this bag, about 60% in your favor. But as you draw out resources, that percentage is going to shrink. And you need to be aware of that as you're going through a round, because I would say with this game, discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Sometimes it's not worth risking it. Move on, do another test, and live to fight another day. But that's pretty much the game. The board is very simple. You have your track up here with your health, your paranoia, and your honor points. Here is where you're going to place your results from the bag draw, and then you're going to put those back. And then here is the round tracker. Very simple game, but I'm going to be honest, the game is pretty fun. I very much enjoyed it. I've had a good time playing it, and that's why I've played it now going on 8 times. So let's go ahead and do a playthrough. If everything goes smoothly, 30 to 45 minutes, but I'm probably going to also do a lot of talking. But let's go ahead and jump on into the game. So first off, I know my mission is in Lubang. I definitely want to try to accomplish that. I have the binoculars, and it would be nice to get that victory point. But remember the distribution of the bag. I want to try to move around a little bit and get some food first. And I always try to do like a circular pattern these first couple of turns, because you can then avoid stacking up alarm tokens. I'll show you what I mean by that. So my first action is I'm going to move. I'm going to move to Loke. When you move, when you arrive in the spot you're moving to, and you can only move to adjacent spots, you are always going to place what is called an alarm token. That means that alarm level is 1 in that spot. So now that this turn is over, after every action you take, you must draw an event card, with the exception of move. You don't draw a card, thank heavens for that. So in this spot, I'm going to go ahead and try to do a raid. So I'm reaching in. I am hoping to pull a 2 or higher, because there's only 1 alarm level there. We'll see what I get. Okay, I pulled a 6. So I succeed. I'm going to place that there. I succeed in my first raid. Now I'm going to reach back into the bag, and I'm going to extract 1 more token, and this will be the resources that I collect as a part of that raid. Okay, I pulled out a 2, which coincides to a 3 value. So I've removed one of my better results, but that's okay. I'd rather get rid of a 3 than a 4, 5, or a 6. So I've accomplished the raid. I've placed my resources there. I now, before I place an alarm token for doing the raid action, I'm going to pull an event card, and we're going to do this. I'm going to flip it over. All right, so this is one of those nasty round events, and I hate this one desperately, because every time you move, you must do an alarm check. If you succeed, there's no additional effect, but if you fail, you're going to lose a health or lose a resource. I can also, to get rid of this, I can increase my paranoia by 1, but I think at this point I can stand this. This is just somewhat of a pain, particularly later on in the round, but we'll show you how that goes. So giant bees are following me. At this point, I've done the event. Nothing happens right now. I place an alarm token in Loke, so now it has 2. And now I return this to the bag. Always return those to the bag. That's something I forget fairly often, and end up, punishing or helping myself when I'm drawing. All right, end of that action. Now I want to move. Now we've got to do what Giant B said. I have to do an alarm check. So I have to pull a token, but there's no other effect from this. So I have to pull a token, and I'm hoping to get a 3 or higher. Okay, I pulled a 4, so I succeeded. This goes back in the bag. I can now move. I'm going to move to Banakas, where I now will immediately place an alarm token. And I'm also going to do another raid. because I only have 2 resources. I need a minimum of 6, and I really want 7 or 8 before I do that mission, return to my camp, and end the round. I didn't go to Ago because then I'm kind of backtracking on this area. I don't think I need to do that quite yet. All right, we're going to do a raid. So I need to pull a 2 or higher. I pulled a 1. So I failed the raid. So here's what's going to happen. Down at the bottom of the calendar track, you'll notice the first 3 turns have a heart. Those coincide to health. Then the last 3 turns have a paranoia marker. Those coincide to paranoia. When you fail a test, unless it says otherwise, like this one said, there's no other effect if you succeed, but there is with a failure, you're going to do that one. I have to do this effect. So I have to reduce my health by 1 from 10 to 9. That sucks. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to return that to the token because I've already pulled that out. That's important to keep that one out because I'll probably have to do another test with this. We'll see. Okay, this is a reserve card, which is good. This says repeat 1 test, or if my radio is active, remove 3 alarm from the map. My radio is not active. I'm going to go ahead and place that over by my backpack. I just need to remember that that is there. I've now done that mission. Nothing happened. And I place an alarm token. End of that action. I put this back into the bag and we move to the next action. I'm going to try to move to 500. But remember, I got to do the giant bees, so we have to do an alarm check, and I've got a 2. Okay, I pulled a 3, I succeed, so there's no negative effect. Had I failed, remember, I would lose a health or a resource marker. So I'm moving to 500. I'm going to go ahead and place the alarm token there for moving, and now I'm going to try to do another raid. So I'm going to reach in the bag, hoping to get a 2 or higher. And I pulled a 2, thank heavens. So now I'm successful in my raid. I reach into the bag and I pull out a token. I pulled out a 2, which coincides with a 4. So there you can see I'm watering down my deck or my draw pool, and it's going to get harder and harder and harder to be successful on these checks, which is not a good thing because I really want to get this. So I'm done with the action. Before I place an alarm, I'm going to pull another card. This is called Malaria. It's a reserve card, so I can put it over there as well. I can repeat 1 test, always valuable. I can activate the first aid kit and gain a resource token. So that's a good one to kind of hold on to. I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to move this. One of the problems I have with the game is sometimes I forget the cards that are off to the side, but it's good to... I probably need to put these here. After playing it 8 times, maybe that's what I should do because that's what I do over here. All right, no negative effects from the event, so I go ahead and place my alarm token. And now before we move, before I repeat these, I'm going to do that movement check for the giant bees. Okay, I pull out a 3. I'm good. I can move without effect. I'm going to go to Tillich. I put that back into the bag. I place 1 alarm token in there, so it has an alarm level of 1, and I'm going to do a raid. So I'm going to reach into the bag. The alarm level is 1. I pull out a 2. So you can see I passed these, but once the alarm levels get higher, it gets harder and harder. I pulled a 1 out, which only gives me 1 resource, so I'm going to have to do another raid, which sucks. Now I'm going to go ahead and do an event card. Oh, I pulled out another reserve. Now, remember, you can only have a number of reserve cards in your possession equal to your active companions plus 1. So I've got 2 plus 1. I can hold on to 3. I can repeat a test, or I can move hero to any region. All right, so I'm going to put that one there. I've got some decent little cards. But I'd really like to have that radio to active. Now I put the alarm level on Tillich, and I'm going to go ahead and move to Lubang. Oh, I've got to do my check here for giant bees before I put that back in. So I'm hoping to get higher than a 2. I pull a 4. I successfully move, placing an alarm token out, and now it has an alarm level of 1. I put that back in the bag. We are now going to take the action that is called accomplish a mission. So once again, we go over to the mission. I have to do an alarm check and deactivate my binoculars. So I'm going to go ahead and do the alarm check. And the alarm check is 1. I do have a couple of these that I can repeat checks, which is a good thing. So let's go ahead and do that. So I pull a 4. The alarm level is a 1. I succeed. So what I do, I'll show you what and then I have to deactivate my binoculars. Sorry. So I turn the binoculars over. In order to use those again, I have to repair them. They can only be repaired in Loc. So that's important to remember. I'm going to gain 1 honor point. So I move my honor point up to 1. And then I'm going to reduce the alarm level in Lubang. So I'm going to remove that one. That's good. That actually is going to allow me probably to do another raid in this location here in just a moment before trying to get back to camp and end the round. Because I've generally accomplished everything I need to. I just need to get 1 more food. All right, so that is the full effect. I passed. So this is accomplished. I put that there. What I do to remind myself is I move that marker over and put it on top of the card. I can't do any more missions. You don't draw a new mission. I did that. Now we've got to do an event card. Don't forget your event cards. I pulled another card. And remember, I can have 2 plus 1 because I have 2 companions. I always play it though because the rules aren't perfectly 100% clear. I'm going to play this card as I draw it only because it doesn't really say that in the rules. And I'm not going to hold on to it. So I'm going to play this card. And you can see it is the radio. I'm going to activate my radio, which is currently deactivated. That's a bonus. And I'm going to gain +1 resource token. So I'm going to play that over in the discard pile to activate my radio. That's really good. Then I'm going to reach into the bag and just draw out 1 resource token. Oh, I drew out a 3. That's excellent. All right, so now all that's over. I place 1 alarm in Lubang, which is very good. Then I refill the bag with that the 4 that I pulled out last. Now, all I want to do is move back to Qianpu. The problem is I've got this damn giant bees plaguing me. We'll see what's going to happen. Let's try this out. So I'm going to move, but I have to pass a 1 alarm check to move from Lubang. Okay, I pulled a 5, so I succeed. So I move. I'm going to move to Tillich. I'm going to put another alarm token there. Remember, when you move in, you do an alarm token, but you don't have to do an event. I'm now just going to move to Qianpu. I don't need to do anything else. So I put the 5 back in. To move, I have to do the giant bees. So I have to succeed an alarm check of 3. And I'm going to fail, which sucks. It gives me, on failure, I can lose a health or I can lose 1 resource. I'm going to actually lose 1 resource at this point because I see this 1, I'm okay losing that. So I'm going to put that back into the bag. That doesn't stop me from moving, but I moved to Qianpu, where I put an alarm token for having moved into there. So I fill everything back up into the bag. My turn is now accomplished. I am done. I don't need to do anything else. So we're going to do the end of round stuff. I have to feed myself. 2 plus 2 for my companions, 4. I think it's Izuka and Shimada. And then 2 for myself, so 6 of my food will be consumed just to keep us alive. I had 7. So that gives me an extra 1. Now, before I use that extra 1, every area you get to remove 1 alarm token. So I'm going to go ahead and pull 1 alarm token off from each area and put those back. Then the extra resource can be used to take 1 extra alarm per area off the board. So I'm going to go ahead and take, because I have a second one in Tillich, I'm going to get that down to a 1. So now you can see I only have a total of 4 alarm on the board. That's not terrible. We then discard this because the round is over. See ya, giant bees. Nothing else. I keep all those. We don't reset equipment. We don't reset anything on the track. I'm going to move to the 1950 to 1954 turn, the second turn. We are going to draw a new mission card, and this one is radar. So this is in 500. So I'm going to put that in the 500 space. And this one I have to do an alarm check and deactivate my rifle, which is currently activated. I'm going to get a honor point and reduce my paranoia by 1. So I'm going to look for ways potentially to increase my paranoia if I have the alternative between that or losing health, and then do this mission. So let's go ahead and put that as the active. And you can only ever do the 1 mission per turn. That's one of the tenets of the game. All right, we're all set up, ready to go. One other thing I wanted to point out, you might notice that there are 2 cards on the top of the board. These are Akatsu's note and Akatsu desserts. You potentially, not dessert like as in food, but desserts, he gives up. In this event deck, there is an Akatsu card where you're going to get a 3rd friend, and then you're going to add those 2 cards into the deck and reshuffle. So that's another way to get another friend if you lose some of the guys, because these guys are going to give you honor points at the end of the game. It's important to have them alive. I also have a good amount of these reserve events, and I might end up using 1 because I'm at my max. We'll see. I may end up doing this here in just a moment. All right, let's go ahead. The bag is full. We are ready to go. I want to do a couple of raids. So I'm going to go to Loke, and I'm going to put an alarm token. But I'm not going to do anything in there. I'm going to go down to Ago. So I move down to Ago, and I put another alarm token. Remember, you don't have to draw events when you just move. And now I'm going to do a raid down here. But here's what I'm going to do because I'm afraid I might draw another card and not be able to use it, and then I might have to discard a card from my reserve. So my radio is active. So it says, if your radio is active, remove 3 alarm from the map. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. I'm going to remove 1, 2, and probably 3. I'm going to go ahead so that I don't, well, a 0 would fail me, but that way I at least have a really good shot of getting this raid and hopefully making the bag in my favor. So I'm going to go ahead and do a raid here in Ago. I pull a token. I pulled a 2, so I succeed. There's no alarm level. I go ahead and reach into the bag again, and I'm going to pull out, okay, I pulled out a 4, which has 2 resources on it. That's all right. I now draw a card. So this is an immediate event, Prisoner. I'm going to get +1 paranoia, and then I must succeed at an alarm check. If I succeed, I get -1 paranoia. If I fail, I get +1. Plus, then I would lose a health as well because of the around event, just missing an event. So I'm going to go ahead and increase my paranoia 1 level. So it's now at 1. And I'm going to do an alarm check. The alarm is 0 again, which that was good. I'm going to go ahead and pull, shoot. I pulled a frickin' 0. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this card to repeat a test because I don't want to fail at this one quite yet. So now I will succeed at this no matter what I draw. I drew a 1, so I succeed, and let's go back to this card. So I passed the alarm check. I'm going to reduce that paranoia by 1, and no other effect happens. I hope you followed what I did there. One of the things these reserve cards are really good about is being able to redo checks. All right, so now I'm going to do an event card because I did an action there. We did a raid. I get, no, wait, hold on just a second. That was my event. I don't need to do another event, Grant. Sometimes I get confused. So I saw that one, but I don't remember what it does. So I am done. I'm going to place an alarm level. So I did make a small mistake there, but I was able to catch it and correct it. Okay, we're in decent shape. Knock on wood, right? I'm going to refill my bag. And then we're going to move to Loke, where I will put 1 alarm token. I'm going to do a second raid. I'm going to mix that bag up good. And we are going to pull a low number. Yes. All right, so I'm going to fail. I'm going to lose a health. And then I do an event. So I failed the raid, which sucks. All right, gas. I have to deactivate my uniform. Or I can do a paranoia test. Success will activate the uniform. Failure will lose a resource and deactivate a friend. I'm just going to go ahead and deactivate my uniform. It's early. I can fight. So that was the negative effect on that card. We're good. I place an alarm level and failed. I could have redone that, but I don't think it's that important at this point. I'm going to go ahead and move to Tillich. So I place an alarm and I'm going to do another raid action. I have to put this back into the bag. Let me shuffle that son of a gun up, make sure hopefully it doesn't come back up. I failed again, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and redo. I'm going to repeat a test. I can't be failing this early in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and draw another one out. Let's see what we get. Oh my gosh. I drew the other one. So I can't repeat this test. I'm going to lose a health. My gosh, that sucks. All right, let's go ahead and draw an event. Deactivate the health, or if my health is greater than paranoia, I gain a paranoia. Actually, that might not be bad because remember, I'm trying to accomplish this mission that will reduce my paranoia by 1. If paranoia is, if health is less than paranoia, -1 health, no. If they're equal, no. So I'm actually going to do the second. I'm not going to deactivate my med kit, first aid kit. I'm going to increase my paranoia by 1 with the hope that I can accomplish this mission and reduce that paranoia. So we've done that event. We place an alarm level. Man, I kind of just got rocked, to be honest. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do another raid there. I have to put these back in the bag. Man, I can't believe I pulled out all these freaking low numbers. It's just stupid. Let's see what I draw here. I drew another one. This may be a very quick game, people. I lose a health. I'm not sure I've really ever done quite this poorly this early. So I failed that test. I have to pull an event. Death of Shimada. Awesome. Discard Shimada's token. Shimada is the one that has the eyeglasses. So he is now out of the game. That in some ways is a blessing in disguise because now I don't have to gain as much food. I only now need 4 food versus 6 when I had him. But my paranoia is going to go up 1, so it's going to go to a 2. From now on, if card 21 shows up, it is discarded without effect. This is one thing I don't like about the design a little bit, is I have to monitor card numbers too much, and it's very difficult. So what I will do is I'll put that above the event discard pile, and I'll just check every card against that. But when number 21 comes up, it just goes away. All right, now I put an alarm level in Tillich. I'm going to go ahead and replace everything to the bag. And then I'm going to go to Lubang. And I'm going to do another raid. I really need to knock this raid out of the park. All right, let's pull. Our level is a 1. You can't make it up. You just can't make this crap up. I fail. We do an event. Remember, if 21 comes up, it goes, nope. Okay, so we get a reserve. Repeat a test, or if radio's active, -2 paranoia. I'm definitely going to do that because paranoia is starting to get really high. So I get it down to 0 paranoia. That was actually a very good fortuitous event. All right, I place an alarm token because I failed. I'm just going to go ahead and do another raid there. I have to put this one back in the bag, and I'm probably going to draw it out again. You watch. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, guys, I really wish that I was doing better because I want to show you more of the game. Let's pull the event. Onoda Shoryu. Each time you deactivate a companion or lose health, do a paranoia test. If you fail, +1 paranoia. So this is one of those round events. And now I place an alert level there. And this is very bad right now. This is a very bad looking board. All right, I'm going to move to 500 and I'm going to go ahead and try to take care of the accomplished mission. So I put that back in the bag. I have an alarm level of 2. Let's see if I can pass this son of a gun. Yes, I drew a 4. So I pass. So I have to deactivate my rifle. Let's go ahead and once again pull this card up. Deactivate the rifle. I get an honor point, and I get to reduce paranoia by a level, but it's now down to 0. So yay, I succeeded. I'm actually going to move those to the top. And I put this marker over there. I now do an event. Surrender of Fujita. For every successful raid, I gain a +1 resource token or activate a companion. So this is one of the few good events. There are a few good ones that do come out from time to time. I'm going to go ahead and put my alarm level in 500. Now I'm going to move to Banakas, put another alarm level, and I'm going to do a raid, hoping to succeed so that I can, damn, I can't get my fat hand in there. I pulled a 5, excellent. So I pulled a 5. Now, because of this event, for a successful raid, I get to pull 2 tokens. So I pull a 0, which has a 1. And then for my second one, I pull a 1, which has just 1. Dang it. It would have been nice to get a couple of extra ones. So I did the event. No, I didn't do the event, did I? I didn't do my event yet, but I was successful in my mission. This one I did, and this doesn't have an effect. I'm going to go ahead and do my event. At the end of the turn, for each rice you have over the minimum, I get a -1 health. Well, I don't have any over the minimum at this point, so that was actually a fortuitous time to draw that. So we have 3 round events. One of them's actually good, and then the others are bad. I'll put my alarm level here, but I am not going to risk this. And the state of this board is very bad for this early in the game. To have 3 alarm tokens in every single area is horrendously bad. I didn't get enough resources. Now, I'm looking at my thing. I have a 0 and a 1. And I also have a 4. So there's some 2s and 3s. I might do another raid. I'm going to go ahead and risk it for a biscuit. I'm going to move there, so I put a 4. This is just stupid. Why am I doing this, Grant? Don't do that. Remember, discretion is the better part of valor. I'm not going to move there, so I'm going to move to Kyanpu, and I'm going to call the round good. So I put an alarm token there. So we sweep off all of these events. I don't have any more, so I'm not going to lose health. That's one of the other reasons I didn't want to do that one. I get to remove one from every area. So that's going to get them all down to 2. And I get to move one in Ago. So all those go in. And then I feed myself. I have 4, so I can feed myself. Don't have any extra. Don't lose any health. And that's the end of this turn. So we're going to move to the 1955 to 59 turn. With my health this low, this is very bad. So I don't have confidence that we're going to do very well in this playthrough. Let's draw the next mission. This is in Tillich. Electricity. Spy on the new lighting system in Tillich. This is a really good event. +1 honor, but I do have to deactivate my binoculars. Crap. Which I don't have. I would get -1 alarm in Tillich and -1 in each adjacent region. So that's actually a very good mission, but that's going to be very challenging. All right. Okay. We're down to 1 companion, 0 paranoia, 4 health, which is not good. Let's go ahead. I'm going to move to Loke, and I'm not going to do anything there. Then I'm going to move to Ago. Remember, you don't do events when you just move. And now I'm going to do a raid. So I'm going to reach into this nasty bag, hoping to succeed. I pulled out a 2. We're going to put that there. And now I get to pull a resource token. I pulled a 4 out, which is a 2. Yeah, that waters down the effectiveness of my bag. Now I'm going to do an event. You always want on that first raid to draw a 0 or a 1 always, but you know, it's a random draw. Okay, good. The event is a reserve, although it's not a great one. I get to repeat a test, which is good, or I can just add +1 health, but also I gain +1 paranoia. That actually may not be a terrible idea, but we'll see how it goes. I do like these because the thematic connection here is somebody dropped flyers because they knew Hiro and his friends were running around causing trouble and the war was over. They dropped flyers in Japanese that said, hey, the war's over, just surrender, man. And his paranoia goes up, which I think is a nice thematic connection. So I'm going to go ahead and put that off to the side. Now we add an alarm token. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just do another raid right there in Ago. It's my best chance probably to get a raid. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do it. Oh, I pulled a 4. Oh, I should have put this 2 back in. I'm not going to redraw it, but that's a mistake. Don't do that. You always have to put them back before you take your next action. But you don't put them back until you've drawn the event card. That's a very key aspect of the game. Okay, I drew a 2 out, which only has 1 resource on it. Not the end of the world. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Jackfruit. I do an alarm check, which is currently at a 2. If I succeed, I get +2 resource tokens. Failure is -1 health and +1 paranoia. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm at a 2 currently because we don't put that until the end of the round. Oh, please draw. Oh, I draw something good. A 5. So I succeed. And as a result of that, I get to draw 2 resource tokens out. So we're going to draw a 3, which has 2 on the back. That's good. And then we're going to draw, I drew a 6. So now my chances of success with this bag now has been diluted really, really badly. I'm not feeling good about accomplishing my missions, but that's part of the game. It is actually part of the game that I think makes it extremely fun. Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're done with that. We're going to put our alarm token there. Now I'm going to go and I'm just going to try to accomplish... No, I got to repair my... Well, that was stupid, Grant. Well, I made a big mistake, but I made a tactical mistake. I should not have moved through Loke without trying to repair. But that's life. All right, well, I do have a repeat test card, whatever those are called, a reserve event. So that can help me. Let's shake this bag up really good. And let's go ahead and reach in there. I need to pull a 5 or a, oh, and these go back in the bag. Almost forgot that. So there are 2 5s and 1 6. So there's 3 out of about 8. That's going to be a success. So about 40%. All right, we pull. Ooh, I pulled a 5. Excellent. So I repair. Wow, that's crazy. I repair my binoculars. I'm going to go ahead and pull an event card. Every time I earn paranoia, I earn an additional paranoia. I'll replace this 5 in the bag because I need that to win. And now I'm going to move into Tillich, adding an alarm. And now I need to do a complete mission, or I'm sorry, accomplished mission check is what I need to. So I reach in, I pull. Ooh, I pulled a 4. As bad as my luck was 5 minutes ago, it's gotten much, much, much better. So 4 is higher than the alarm level, so I pass it. I have to deactivate my binoculars. Pass and deactivate. I gain an honor. That's great. And then -1 alarm level in Tillich, and then -1 in adjacent regions. So -1 in Lubang, 500, and Loke. Well, that was very helpful. You can see the failure here was really bad. I get an extra 1 in Tillich and a paranoia and lose a health. So that was very good. So I'm going to put that over there. I accomplished that. We now need to do an event. If I gain paranoia, I gain an extra. To move, I must overcome an alarm. Failure, you don't move, and there is no change to. This is a card I don't understand. I've been perplexed by this one. So to move, I have to do an alarm check. That makes sense. If I fail, I don't move, and there is no change to health or paranoia. Why would I ever worry about drawing, right? There's no penalty. I can literally just keep drawing until it just doesn't feel right, but yeah, whatever. So that's a sucky round event to come out at this time. I put an alarm level, which is going to make that test that much more difficult. And now I'm done. I have all the resources I need. I've accomplished my mission. I want to move back to camp. So I pulled a 4. So I succeed in moving. I had to do that to move. So I go to Kyanpu and I put an alarm token, which increases that alarm level. Before we go on, I think I'm going to go ahead and increase my health and increase my paranoia 1, because my health is getting awful low. So that's that event. I went ahead and used that. We're going to clear these off. These are both gone now. That's very good. End of the round, we're going to take 1 off of every space. So let's go ahead and do that. I try to make sure I pay attention to this because it's very easy to forget to pull 1 off or pull an extra 1 off. Now I feed myself. I only need 4, 5, 6. I have 8. So I can remove 1 additional in every single space. That's good. So it was okay losing Shimada. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can use 1 food to remove 1 alarm token at the end of the round in 1 space. You can't do 4 in one or 2 in another. So I actually removed 1 in every single one of those. This is looking much better. Remember how I was complaining about the board state? All of a sudden that looks much better. I replaced those into we moved to the 1960 turn. I'm gonna pull a new mission. We'll move this over. All right, the mission, this is in Lubang, so we're gonna put that there. Tillich has the gun, so I need to go over there and repair. This one is an alarm check, deactivate the gun, and I gain an honor, a health, and a extra resource, because you're robbing farmers. Not necessarily an honorable thing here, but yeah, that's what's going on here, right? Okay, new round. Got the victory point marker out. I have 3 current honor points. I'm sorry, the mission marker. 5 health and 1 paranoia. Not terrible. I have the radio, the ghillie suit, and the med kit. And I need to repair this rifle. So I'm going to go ahead and move to Tillich and put an alarm level out. And we're going to do a repair action. So everything's in this bag. We have about a 40%. Ooh, I pulled a 5. Excellent. So we repair the rifle. So I flip the rifle over. Why did I do that? Because I need that for the Lubang mission. We now do an event card. Card number 11, washing clothes. If I'm successful at this alarm check, I get to activate the uniform. I don't have my uniform on right now. That's good. Failure, I deactivate the uniform or deactivate a friend and uniform already deactivated. If already deactivated. So I definitely want to succeed at this one. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pull. Ooh, I pulled a 4. Very nice. My luck has somewhat changed here. So I'm going to go ahead and activate my uniform, and that's valuable because sometimes events call for that and you can cancel an event, which is good in my... So now I'm going to put out that alarm level in Tillich. So I'm now going to move to 500, and the reason I'm doing that is I want to try to do a raid, then go here to Lubang, do the mission, come back to Banacus, do a raid, and then potentially just go home, if it all goes well. Okay, got to put these back in the bag. Remember, don't forget to put these back in the bag. That's very important. All right, we have a raid in 500. There's a ooh, I pulled a 4. My luck has changed, man. Now we pull, I'm hoping to pull like a 2. That would be great. Well, I pulled a 1. So I'm improving my chances. I only got 1 resource. So that mission is done. Before I put that back in the bag, we do a calendar event, a round event. To move, you must overcome a alarm check. Failure, you don't move, or I can move and lose a health. Dang it. This is Filipino soldiers are tracking me down, so I just can't move as easily. All right, I put the 4 back in. I put my alarm level. Oh, man. Okay, what do I want to do here? Do I want to go ahead and I'm just going to go to the mission. I may fail, but, Grant, if you fail, you're in trouble. Oh, to move, I had to do an alarm check, so let me go ahead and... So I had 2... Oh, I pulled a 3. I'm telling you, my luck. So I did an alarm check in 500 to move to Lubang according to this round event. I had 2 alarm. I pulled a 3, so I succeed. Moved to Lubang. I put an alarm down. I'm now going to do the accomplished mission, and I pulled a 3. Wow, this game's easy, guys. So bango, I did the alarm check. I have to deactivate my gun. I gain an honor point. That's great. I gain a health, which is also good. And I gain a free resource token. So that's very good. I reach in and I grab a free resource token. And I got a 3 or a 2 resource. So that's good. Did I do the event? No, I did not. Okay, so now I got to do an event. Oh, I got a reserve. Batteries, repeat a test or activate the radio and gain a resource. So I'm going to hold on to that one. And now I put my alarm level out. So let's go ahead and go down to Banacus. So I have to don't have to do an event, remember. I've got all of that. All right, I got to put this back in the bag. Oh, I had to overcome a test to move. I keep forgetting that. Okay, I did a 3. The level was 2. I succeed. So I'm able to move into Bacchus. I place my alarm level for moving. I'm going to now do a final raid. I pulled a 4. All right, so now I get to pull, I really just need 1. I pulled a 2, so that's good. That'll allow me to remove an extra. I put this back. Nope, I don't put that back. That 4 needs to come out because I now have to do an event. Sorry, get ahead of myself. I feel like I make way more mistakes when I'm doing the videos. So I pull my event. Oh, it's another reserve. So this is Kinzaku Saionji. I repeat a test, or if the radio is active, -2 paranoia, or activate and -1 paranoia. Boy, that's a good. Let me hold on to that one. So now I only have 1 companion, so I can only carry 1 + 1. So I'm at my max. Let me think about this. I've actually already got a lot of those. I don't know that there's going to be many more of those left. Let's hold on to those. I'm in good shape. Okay, now we do an alarm level. Now I have to pass, because of the Filipino soldiers, I have to pass a 2 alarm check. I fail. So anytime I fail an alarm check, now I don't feel like that applies, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to go ahead and lose a health to be able to just go ahead and move. So I move to Kyanpu because my health's not terrible. Famous last words, I realize. So I place my movement marker there. We are done with the round. I'm going to go ahead and replace. I'm going to move this event off. Now I'm going to clear 1 off of each space. And get Ago as well. That's very, very helpful. Then I have 5 food. I only need 4, so I'll have 1 extra to be able to buy an extra alarm off. I'll buy it off in Tillich. Just because having 2 in an area at the beginning is never a good thing. Okay, now we move this and we pull a new mission card. We are in the 1965 to 1969 space. Our mission is going to be in Loke. Steal food in Loke and make a map of the village. So this is a good one. Although I have to deactivate a guy, but if I succeed, I get to activate him right back. So that's actually a decent mission. I'm actually good with that. What do I want to do here? I definitely want to do a raid. Actually, let's not do a raid. Let's do this. I'm gonna kind of play my cards wisely if I have an opportunity here. I'm gonna move into Loke with a 1. So I increase the alarm level there. I'm actually gonna go ahead and accomplish this mission because I do have 2 that can reset, the test. And I just need to pull something higher than a 1. I pulled a 3. Awesome. So I succeed. I have to deactivate a friend. You'll notice when you deactivate the friend, their health is worse, look a little worse for wear, and it's going to take 3 food to feed him. So I succeeded. I gain a victory point. I also gain a resource token. So I'm going to pull a resource token out of the bag. Let's hope. Okay, I pulled a 3, so that's 2. So that kind of gives that to me for free. I then do an event. All right, White Dagger. This is a paranoia test. So this is going to be our first paranoia test. If I succeed, I'm going to get -1 paranoia. That's excellent because it'll get me down to 0. So here's how a paranoia test works. It's similar to an alarm check, but it has some slight differences. I'm going to show you the rule book because it's important to understand this. So paranoia and alarm are generally the same. The only real difference is when you fail a paranoia check, you must only perform the effects indicated on the event card. So if you remember last time, I probably should have gained a paranoia because I failed a card on an event, and I think I asked that question. So I'm going to give myself one extra paranoia because I screwed that up last round. But I can spend health points to increase my score. So I think that's one of those distinctions that you need to be aware of. So I have a 2 paranoia. We reach into the bag. I got a 5. Okay. That's a success because it's higher than my paranoia level of 2. That's very good. So I succeeded, so I reduced my paranoia by 1. That's very helpful. And that is it. Right, I already accomplished the mission. So I get rid of this event. I throw it over here. And now I put an alarm level there. So now I got to ask myself, I'm going to hold on to those. It's good just to have those. So I'm actually going to move to Ago because I need a couple more resources. So I put an alarm token there, and now I'm going to do an alarm check. Oh, I pulled a 2, which succeeds, right? I was supposed to put the 5 back in, so I hampered myself. Now I pull a resource out. I'm hoping to get... Oh, you know the other thing I didn't do? I didn't do this. I screwed up. One of the other benefits was I get to activate a companion. So I'm going to flip Shizuka back over. That's very important. That because I now need less resources. So I succeeded at my raid. I'm going to go ahead and pull out... Ooh, I pulled out a 3. That's awesome. And now I do an event. Shimada injured. Okay, this is the card, if you remember. Death of Shimada. Card number 21, if it comes up, it is discarded without effect. This is card number 21. So these are both going to now go into the discard, and I don't redraw a card. Bully for me. Sorry for Shimada, and that's actually going to hurt my score at the end, but I'm good with that. I put an alarm level here. I have enough resources, so I'm just going to move, put an alarm in Lok, and move, put an alarm in Kyanpu. So I'm going to go back to base because everyone, I'm almost going to win. I'm so close to winning, it's unreal. Anyway, so let's see how this goes. So I moved the end of the turn. I'm going to place everything back in the bag. Discard all of those. I'm going to feed myself. I need 4 and I have 5, so I'm going to have 1 bonus. I get to remove 1 in each space for free. That's going to make this place look pretty damn good. And then the extra food, I will remove another alarm in Lok. I've kind of been like a ninja with this guy this time. It's worked out really well the last couple rounds. Now I'm going to draw what would be our final mission card. I got to get that rifle back. So this is the Ox. It is in Ago, so it's all the way down here. That's not good. Damn it. I have to pass an alarm check and deactivate the rifle. So I'm going to have to go ahead and get the rifle again. I'm going to put that there. But that's okay. I think I can do it. Let's see what I'm going to do here. Yeah, I think I'm going to win. Or at least survive. We're on the last turn. We are on 1970 to 1974 now. I'm going to go to Tillich and place an alarm. Now I'm going to do an alarm check to repair an item, right? I'm trying to repair my rifle. Did I leave any out? No, I didn't. I just have one alarm level. I pulled a 5. So I'm going to succeed at that. I'm going to go ahead and activate my rifle. Now I have to pull an event. Please don't be an event that uses my rifle. Oh, Akatsu. Add Akatsu's token and -1 paranoia. That's excellent. So Akatsu's going to join us. I then have to add event number 5 and number 43, which I have here on the at the top. So I'm going to have to go ahead and shuffle these in. So bear with me for just a moment. One of those events is bad and one of them is good for us. But the good news here is I just got my rifle repaired. I flipped it over. Now what I want to do is I want to do a couple more raids to thin out that deck. And then I want to go down to Ago and accomplish that mission. I do have 2 reserve cards left. I could hold another reserve card. Yeah, I think I'm in pretty good shape. Let me knock on wood, man. Okay, I put this back in. I put the alarm level here in Tillich. I'm going to move to Lubang, and we're going to do a raid. So I put an alarm level there. I pulled a 1. Damn it. All right, at this point of the game, you'll notice at the bottom of the calendar, I'm supposed to increase paranoia. So I failed that check. We increased paranoia. I don't want to redo that check. I'll redo other ones. Oh, Mahjong, this is a good one. Repeat a test or +1 health and -1 or activate a companion. I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side. So now I can actually redo 3 tests. I'm in very good shape. Knocking on wood here, man. All right, I'm going to move to Banacus. Move to Banacus. I'm going to do a raid. I got to put this 1 back in. Dang it. Did I shake those up good enough? Ooh, yeah, I pulled a 5. So I now get to pull 1 resource token. I pulled a 1, but that helps me with thinning out the bad side of the deck. Let's do an event. Woodcutters. I have to increase the alarm level in Kyanpu and 500 because there's more people in the dense jungle and they spot me. Then I have to do an alarm check. Success, -1 wherever Hiro is. He's in Banacus. Failure gets +1. All right, let's go ahead and, so I leave that out. We have a 1. I pulled a 3. So I do succeed. And I get -1 wherever Hiro is. But then at the end of the turn, I put 1 down. I re-put that into the bag. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do another raid there because I don't have to move in. I don't have to increase the level. It's just as good as this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do a 1 raid. Please pull it. Please succeed. Nope, I don't. I fail. So my paranoia goes up. Do I want to I want to redo that one. So I'm going to reduce my paranoia. I think I'm going to do the Mahjong. The other 2 have really good benefits. So I re-pull. Pulled a 3. Thank heavens. And now I pull another. I gotta shake this up because I'm afraid it's going to be bad. Okay, I got a 4, which is 2 resource. I put those back in. I add my alarm level, which is 2 now. And now I'm going to move to Loke. And I'm going to put and I'm not going to do a test there. Or should I? Yes, I should. I'm going to go ahead and do another raid. I'm not sure my chances are that great. Nope, I failed. I tied. So my paranoia is going to go up. Nope, you know what? Once again, let's back that up. I'm going to redo this test. I'm going to do the batteries. That's less important. That other one's very good. It can reduce paranoia, which ultimately can save me. I pulled a 5. So I was successful in my raid. I get to pull a resource. I pulled a 1 resource. So now I have enough just to feed the 2 of them. I still need to do a damn raid somewhere, which is going to be hard. All right, I'm going to pull this card. Truck with speakers. Deactivate my gun. You're kidding, right? And +1 resource. So I cannot do that one. So I'm going to go ahead and do the or part. I'm just going to do another alarm check. So if I succeed, I gain a resource token, which may solve my problem. If I fail, I'm going to add a paranoia. Please. Oh, I pulled a 6. Thank heavens. So I get to draw a free resource token from the bag, which is excellent. I drew the 1 out, which I'm all right with, although I still need to do a damn raid to get a final, but I could lose a health because I'm 1 food short. I add the alarm level. I'm going to move down to Ago and try to accomplish this mission. All right, with a 2 alarm level, got to put all these things back. You can see I've thinned this. These are 1s, 0s, and that one's a 4. That one's a good one. But I've taken 3 of those. How many were there? 5 or 6 bad. So my chances here are pretty good. So I do an alarm check. I pulled a 5. I succeeded, which means I accomplished this mission by deactivating my rifle. I now gain my last. That's all the VP that you can gain, all the honor points. I get to pull. Oh, I get another resource. Well, that's good. That's going to solve my problem. I now have enough to feed myself. I do an event. Let's say this event's not bad. Deactivate my. Oh, okay. So I deactivate my uniform and I gain. Oh, okay. I gain a resource token. I gain a 2 rice for free. That's a weird one. But then I must do an alarm check at a 2, and I could gain another resource or lose a health. So I don't really care all that much at this point. I'm in good shape. Oh, I pulled a 3, so I succeeded, which means I pull another resource token, and I got a 4. Wow, look at all that rice. That's the best I've ever seen rice. So we put all these back in the bag. I did the event. We put a token there. I still have a reserve card. Now I just have to move. Move to Loke. I move to Kyanpu. Put the alarm level there. And I have made it. Hiro Onoda has made it to 1974. Now let's do all the end of round stuff and calculate our victory points or honor points. First, I'm going to remove 1 from every. I'm not sure if you do this in the last round now that I think about it, but I don't think it really matters. Now I feed myself. I need a total of 6, which that is 6 right there. And I have 4 left over, which doesn't really matter at this point. I'll take 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's good. All right. Nothing else that I need to do. We now need to calculate our honor points. Wow, I'm so happy that game turned around so that I could show you a successful game. This will only be my second real victory. I think I won one other time, but I got the lowest score, which really isn't victory. Let's go ahead and look at we didn't meet any automatic defeat conditions. So we're going to gain 10 VP for each of our honor points. We have 6, that is 60. That's a lot. I don't know that I've ever gotten all 6 missions. Usually I get 3 or 4. 10 VP for each active companion. I have 2, so that's 60 plus 20 is 80. 5 for each active object. 5, 10, 15, so that's 95. 10 for each of my health points. I have 50. That's 145. Negative 10 for paranoia. I have 1. So that's 135 is what my final victory score was. Holy crap. Never got this high, guys. So I scored over 130 honor points. Hiro becomes a legendary figure worldwide. Multiple films, books, and television series are made. He is even immortalized in a board game and has his own Funko. That's a toy. During his travels around the world explaining his story, he regains his fondness for dancing and ends up setting up an academy in Brazil. He dedicates the last years of his life to collaborating in the economic and social development of Lubang, trying to make up for his guerrilla actions. So there you have it. That was a successful victory here in Onoda from Salt and Pepper Games. I had a blast playing it. I had a blast teaching you. I hope it helped you to understand the rules. I know that I made a couple of mistakes, but luckily I think I corrected those, found them and corrected them. So I appreciate you watching. Definitely check this game out on GameFound. It is a fun, light game. That video was 1 hour and 16 minutes. I probably 40 minutes in playing the game itself. The rest was talking. So quick playing, fun, interesting, varied. You can see there's probably 20, 10, yeah, there's about 20 to 25 events that we didn't get to. We also didn't get to 6 of the mission cards. And I know that on the GameFound campaign, sorry, I just hit the camera stand, there are some what-if variants and extra missions that you can add in, which I have not added in just quite yet. But there you have it, Onoda. I very much enjoyed the game. I very much enjoyed bringing it to you and teaching you. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Grant for the Player's Aid.